Hey there, viewers! Are you into football or hockey? You are? Okay. Well, I hate to break it to you, but we're not going to be discussing these sports. Instead, we're going to talk about an injury most associated with the activities. Today, we're talking about 8 warning signs that you have a concussion. Does a headache count? What about vomiting? What if I'm slurring my speech? I've had a few drinks. We're talking all these red flags and more. Number 1. Headache. We know there are countless factors responsible for headaches. Your neighbor's loud music is sometimes enough to have your skull throbbing. But if you're involved in physical activities, particularly ones where your brain is vulnerable to injury, a headache could spell out a concussion. In fact, a headache is among the most common signs of a head injury. Over 30% of concussion patients report a long-term headache as one of the after effects. This means pain that could last for a year or even longer. After one has suffered a head injury, headaches may occur due to the blood or fluid inside the skull. This can also be due to the change in the brain that has resulted from your concussion. A headache caused by traumatic brain injury has a number of effects on your daily routine. This includes your ability to think, carry out normal tasks, and remember important things. In fact, this leads me to our second point. Number 2. Amnesia. Following an injury to the brain, a person could experience what is known by professionals as post-traumatic amnesia. This is a state of confusion in which you find yourself unable to remember crucial events as well as basic information. A variety of feelings come with this trauma, including confusion, anger, anxiety, and distress. In some cases, a patient has been known to embrace those around them. Some you've disliked for years could be greeted with warmth and compassion. You may also forget people in your life. This means that your friends or family members you've known since birth can become a complete stranger. Like most warning signs on the list, post-traumatic amnesia is unpredictable. It can last anywhere from a few minutes to a few months. Number 3. Light sensitivity. Nearly 50% of people with some sort of brain trauma report having some sort of visual disorder. Light sensitivity, also known as photosensitivity, is a vulnerability to bright lights, whether it's all types of light or simply fluorescent. This symptom can last long-term as part of a post-concussion syndrome, or PCS. Have you ever entered a bright room after spending a significant amount of time in the dark? How uncomfortable did you feel? For those who have suffered brain trauma, this is a constant reality. In fact, this is known as a second most common symptom of a head injury. While there are no medications to cure photosensitivity, you're able to get special tinted glasses that treat it. Don't try wearing normal sunglasses indoors, it doesn't work. They'll only make your eyes more sensitive. Number 4. Dizziness. When a person has suffered a severe injury to the head, an act as simple as getting up from the couch can be met with feelings of disorientation. If you're having a hard time keeping your balance after standing up, this may be a sign of a concussion. Have you ever seen stars after hurting your head? Well, vision impairment is often paired with dizziness. It isn't uncommon to see double or have your vision blurred. If you've recently suffered a concussion and are feeling extreme dizziness, you may want to consult a doctor. Either that or slow down when partaking in physical activities. Number 5. Vision problems. People who suffer a traumatic brain injury will often experience vision impairment. This can mean anything from blurriness to double vision to actual vision loss. After hurting your head, the muscles and nerves surrounding your eyes are damaged. This is where convergence insufficiency takes place, where both eyes are unable to work together to focus on nearby objects. A minor task such as reading is difficult, as you can't even make out the words on the page. This pressure on your eyes will eventually cause a headache. This condition is common among athletes who suffer concussions. Before we continue, are you worried about your all-around health? You should probably watch what you're eating. check out our recent video on 15 food combinations that could be dangerous for you. Have you been feeling aches and pains in the morning? Click on our clip discussing 5 reasons why your body hurts in the morning. Now, let's get back to our list of 8 warning signs you have a concussion. Number 6. Ringing in your ears. After suffering a concussion, you may hear ringing in your ear. While an unexpected ringing of any kind is scary, it's one of the most common warning signs. Have you ever heard of tinnitus? Tinnitus is described as ringing, buzzing, or hissing in your ears that happens after damage to the ear or hearing nerves. It can also come naturally as a person ages. Either way, it's said to affect 15 to 20% of all people. Unfortunately, this ringing appears at unexpected moments. Your head injury has left your ears in a state of vulnerability, making them sensitive to even the smallest of sounds. Let's say you're in a crowded place, such as a restaurant or a movie theater. One tiny sound pierces your ear, and all of a sudden they begin to ring. If you are experiencing this annoying ring, try avoiding noisy places for a while. If you do happen to travel to these areas, wear earplugs. Number 7. Slurred speech. There is sometimes nothing more uncomfortable than being in a conversation where a person can't understand you. If you've suffered a concussion, this problem doubles. Slurred speech is a common warning sign of a head injury. It can be difficult for patients to properly form words. When someone has hurt their head, the muscles that control speech will often weaken. This leads to something known as dysarthria. This is the medical term for slurred or slowed down speech that is hard to interpret. While the inability to articulate your thoughts may be a setback, there are ways to overcome it. If this is something you're experiencing, try speaking slower when talking. Your sounds will come out more clearly. Number 8. Fatigue. When suffering from a traumatic brain injury, you may find yourself in a constant state of exhaustion. While most of us get tired at some point during the day, concussion patients can't help but feel a sudden urge to fall asleep. When your heads experience trauma, your brain spares less energy than it normally does. The simple task of getting up and walking to the bathroom can feel like manual labor. Small and meaningless activities can have you feeling weak and ready for bed. If you're feeling this type of fatigue, it's best for you to consult a doctor to see where to go from there. In the meantime, try not to partake in any activity that doesn't need to be done right away. You want to preserve as much physical and mental energy as possible. The thought of sleep is a scary one for many concussion patients. This is mostly due to the misconception that if you sleep for too long, you run the risk of falling into a coma. While a coma is a danger that needs to be considered for these patients, the greatest chances of it happening are within the first few hours following the injury. After that, you're encouraged to undergo a resting period between 48 to 72 hours. Have you ever had a concussion? Are these symptoms accurate? Let us know in the comments section below. We would love to hear from you.
Enjoyed this video? Hit like, share, and subscribe to Bestie. Wait, what kind of Bestie would we be if we didn't tell you about our other awesome videos? Go ahead, choose the left or right video and enjoy.